When I was a young man, I sang this prayer. I said, Lord, burn me up. Everything that is not love, burn it up.
Labor and the expression of worth. This is our morning workout.
I've been a terrible friend at times to some of my best friends, and I wish that I could say that I'm done with that now, but as soon as I think that I'm done disappointing people, well, there I go again. You know what I'm talking about? Oh man, as soon as I think, well, I used to be a bad friend, then someone shows up and tells me what a terrible friend I am. And it's like, there's nothing I can do to stop that. There's no good person I can try to be. Apparently, I'm always going to disappoint people, and people are always going to disappoint me. Thank God for forgiveness, because without that, I get caught in those disappointments. And that attachment, that getting caught in things, is something I can't afford to do. Also, my best friends are the folks that seem to have hurt me the deepest. Isn't there an archetypal story in that? A universal tale? The story of betrayal by a friend. Judas betrayed Jesus for 30 silver coins and then a kiss. Peter swore that he wouldn't turn his back on the one we call Lord.
Footage of me walking into the garden. Take 2. Okay, for realistic.
In fact, betrayal is at the very heart of the gospel story. The story of how neither church or state can see the Son of God, establishments, institutions, and particularly from our vantage points, from our positions within these establishments, these positions that we hold blind us to true love when it finally arrives. Even as the people were waiting for the one they called Messiah, they were unable to see him when he showed up. And that's not anti-Semitism, it's a story of humanity. Jesus instructed the rich young man to sell his possessions and give to the poor. Did that young man walk away empowered or brokenhearted, or both? This is our choice: to give all and follow, or walk away from the one who shows us the way. Morpheus, in the movie The Matrix, asked Neo to choose between the red pill and the blue pill. The blue pill would return him to his place in the illusion. The red pill would reveal to him the cold and metallic reality of the suffering remnant of humans who continued to struggle against the artificial intelligence which was drawing their power from his people as if they were battery packs.
Thank you. 2 of the best words we could ever learn.
But AI, in that archetypal tale, as told by the Wachowski brothers and released in 1999, the same Wachowskis who have both ironically switched their binary symbol from a 1 to a 0, or is that a 0 to a 1? Has there been a universal decision on the gender of 1s and 0s yet? Anyway, yes, that archetypal savior story that came from the Wachowskis, Neo, the One, and Morpheus, the one who cries in the wilderness, preparing our hearts for the Messiah, like John the Baptist. What do you know about initiation ceremonies? Red pill, blue pill moments.
We cry, holy, holy, holy. We cry, holy, holy, holy. Holy is the Lamb who was slain. Holy. When I was a young man, I sang this prayer. I said, Lord, burn me up. Everything that is not love, burn it up in me. And when I struggle, O Lord, to get away from the flame, please hold me there. He said, don't you begin till you count the cost. Hey, hey, hey. It is not my job to determine for any other being whether or not they have given all. But I do know that it is one of my responsibilities to exhort everyone to give that all. To align ourselves and our labor with what we know to have the deepest value. This is one way to describe the divine journey. Seek first the kingdom of heaven, and everything else will be added unto you. These are the instructions that I received, and I am living by faith in the pursuance. John Coltrane, McCoy Tyner, Elvin Jones, Jimmy Garrison, A Love Supreme. There is this acknowledgement of the divine. There is this resolution, this resolve to continue in that acknowledgement. And in that is this pursuance. Acknowledgement, resolution, pursuance, and then the Psalms. Holy, holy, holy is the Lamb who was slain. Hey, holy, holy.
A binary decision along a chronological timeline, which leads either back to the relative safety of the life you know, or into the great and terrible unknown. Initiations, rites of passage. How do you like to describe these tribulations? Have you ever chosen the red pill? What's it like to choose the blue pill? Neo, it seems, knew way too much to go back. His ability to comply in the Matrix was diminishing, so he chose the red pill. I've read that Jesus made it quite clear to his disciples what the options were. Jesus was an all-or-nothing kind of guy. This light that you see in me, he said, is the light of the one we call Father, the Almighty. When you look into my eyes, you are staring into the void, the ineffable, the unspeakable. That's why I speak in parables, so you can understand me one day.
Labor and the expression of worth.
Jesus was the one who asked us to devote ourselves to the One, and according to the establishment, he was a madman, a demon-possessed madman who was leading people astray, as he also posed a significant annoyance to the colonizers of the time, Rome, that greatest of empires who would soon appropriate Jesus' message to serve their own tyrannical agenda. Does that sound familiar? Isn't it fascinating how the message gets passed down in so many mysterious ways? How many different ways can we turn our own liberation into an oppressive expression? Into just how many different sects of love can we segregate? How many otherings and dehumanizing genocides will it take before we understand how ridiculous we have been?
That kind of attention to the divine nature, to the eternal gaze, as I understand, we do it in community, that it is enhanced as the one that is arising from within us. Now we see it manifest out there. So that's what I see in you. I see the light in you, my friend. You are that one today in this life. Thank you.
How many more Gazas? How many more Ghanas? How many more Vietnams and Afghanistans? How many more civil wars? How many more strong men must the people endure until we all come to the end of ourselves? No one makes the jump the first time. That's what they said as Neo entered into a crucial stage of his training. What might it look like for us today to experience salvation? Is there any hope for our world gone mad? Is there a higher vibration, a loving frequency to which we may tune ourselves? If so, what would that look like? What would that feel like? Might we, you and I, discover together a deeper, more nuanced and rich way of coming together? Could we, if we chose to shine like a light in the world, is there possibly a greater intelligence that might arise in us if we began to assemble in groups of 12 or 6 or 3 or 2 or 70? Can you imagine what 70 truly surrendered souls might witness together? I know you are out there. I believe that my search for you is evidence that you exist, that we exist. I believe that we've already been praying for one another. Our lives have been prayers for one another. We are assembling. And we are. I am. I seen the light in you, my brothers and sisters. Come on. Jesus did not come for those who are well-adjusted to this world. The Spirit reveals itself to those who are equally disillusioned and ready for surrender. In other words, those who are ready to die, those who are willing to be baptized and burned away in the fire, those who have exhausted themselves, those who, as my friend Jimmy says, are out of good ideas. I have exhausted myself on many different occasions, in many different seasons, and through many avenues of practice. Every exhaustion is a coming to an end, a death. And if we choose to tune in, we may come to understand that at every death we are offered a resurrection. And all this is very natural, just as natural as our ability as symbolic language creatures to tell stories, archetypal stories, superhero stories, stories of gods and goddesses and demigods and demons. There is a story that I read which began to introduce these death and resurrection cycles to me. These stories became enriching to me when I was a young man. These stories of the One, Neo, who came to set us free. The story of the One who was trying to help us to understand our true identity. Even if we die like a criminal, he showed us, we are not obligated to give away our innermost power. No one can take our love from us. It is the greatest and most impossible feat of which I've ever heard, to hang on a cross without becoming a victim. Oh, and even once we've received this message, we may find 1,000 ways to make ourselves a false martyr. Oh, the terror of self-pity and victimization. Some of us were born deeply embedded in these fearful, shame-based systems. One might say that every world system has been born of the fall. All those cruel forms of punishment that we are capable of imposing upon one another in the name of our own desperate nature, in the name of God. Oh. In this light, we may see the struggle of the Israelites enslaved in Egypt as our own struggle.
Lost more than found.
Even once we have passed through the Red Sea, parted by Moses, we wander for generations, lost in our own epic struggle to find our promised land.
To sing for the risen King, but from that throne we fell. They said we would never make it. Then we put ourselves through hell. This song is for hurting people everywhere who seek a voice. This song is for the children who really had no choice. We grew up right there, and that is where we started. We were taught to believe the Red Sea literally parted. This song is for those who have hated and found a turnaround. This song is for all the people who are lost more than are found.
we may come to see how we project our own shadow onto the name of God. The human condition, our struggle now for real estate, ownership, a safe place to rest our head.
Pray for those who hurt you. Love those who have done you wrong. Yeah. You are not alone. 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 Emmanuel, God is with us, my friend. Emmanuel, God is with us, my friend.